studied composition with Leonard Bernstein when I was really young, and because my parents forced me to do that. It was an accident. Didn't really think about it until I was 11 or something, 11 or 12 years old.
Wow.
And me and my sister were forced to attend what is now the famous Leonard Bernstein concert for music for young composers series, which was a weekly series in New York I think it was for about a year and a half or something, Sundays. And on top of that, I studied flamenco music when I was my first real guitar lessons were at the flamenco, which I in no way mastered and couldn't handle at the time. Played in rock bands, got really interested in jazz in the late 60s, early 70s, because it was around my house. My mother wrote for off-Broadway plays, so we had Broadway music all the time, and Motown. And the first concert that my dad ever took me to was the first tour that Ravi Shankar and Ala Raka did in the United States, and we went twice. And it was the first real concert, not a Broadway show or songs or whatever, that I ever went to in a concert hall, and it completely,
Yeah, your life was infused with a lot of diverse world music,
all of which, in some way, as a kid, I absorbed, and as an adult, I actually looked into in order to absorb a little bit further, a lot about these styles. I'm a master of nothing. Really,
I don't know if I'd agree with that, but you play what you like, and you hear a lot of different things. Yeah, and you try to emulate those.
And I don't see, it used to be that I thought I thought that when I was younger, I thought it was kind of a punk ass attitude to say no. I mean, why can't I do that? I'm not stealing. I'm being influenced by, and I know enough about these musics to know that I'm not that good at them in their own, inside their own idiomatic boundaries, but why can't I take what I love from it, especially in regards to really simple things like the approach to pitch of an instrument, especially on the guitar, which has a whammy bar or a slide, or the strings are all bendy and it's never in tune anyway. You're always fighting with it. So, at the time, I always thought it was I was being a punk. But really, what I was doing was following what I heard, and I still do that. I can't, dude. I even remember I played pedal steel, country pedal steel on sessions in upstate New York in the 1970s.
Really?
I can't even believe I did that, but I did.
Right.
Because I used to play pedal steel also.
Oh.
And one of the reasons I was attracted to the instrument was that the trickiness of the pitch changing really appealed to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot. It actually
Was
has
there a
more
question?
similarities.
Did you ask me a question?
Well, no. I listen. We're off on some good tangents, and it does. This does all speak to why you play the way that you do, and the fact that it's not so easily pigeonholed. But I can see your appeal to something like a pedal steel because of the way that the pitch bends, and there's the levers, and then there's the slide, and
that carries across in my playing now.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of transposition, like double stop, triple stop transposition things that I do on the guitar when I think it's suitable. And I have emulations. I did a lot of them when I was playing in the late 80s with David Sylvian. A lot of pedal steel when I was playing a Steinberger with the Transcom. A lot of chordal, not necessarily parallel transpositions, but more like on the pedal steel where you're moving one string up to one interval while you're moving the other string up to another interval. Those kinds of things. I did a lot of that, and I can't deny that. I actually often think it's really a shame that guitar players find a style of music, and that's what they like and that's what they know, when there are so many. I can't find a style of music that I don't see something good in, that I want something from.
Right. I mean, some things are just, it's a question of, it's either good or it isn't good.
For me, it's always that way because, if you play me a great country tune and it moves me, I love that country tune. And if you play me a folk song from Indonesia and I don't understand the lyrics and it moves me from the sound and the feeling of the piece, I'm moved by it. I'm not closed to it. I don't think it's foreign. I don't think country music is foreign. I don't think, you know, to me it's all like one big country. And there are like lots of little sections, and at some point you can begin to see crossovers in all these musics, and if you hear it, why not use it?
Right. I mean, it's a global view of music is made to make people feel a certain way, and if it's successful in doing that, then it's succeeded.
Yeah, I feel strongly about this stuff because it's not that difficult right now to actually educate yourself about what other kinds of music there are besides the one thing that you're currently listening to.
Yeah.
As a guitar player, you know, a lot has already been done. You know, every style that's current has already had its past masters. And I kind of feel like it's not a bad thing to encourage people a little bit more to find what they like about music so that they can master their own music as opposed to trying to get non-existent session work by being a great player of X idiom or this idiom or that idiom, you know. Session work isn't there anymore anyways.
No, and it's interesting. And when it was there, it was a handful of people. Anyways, even in the day of Tommy Tedesco.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a handful of guys. And
as it always is.
Right.
Things pan out that way, and not so many people have the energy to try to break into those networks, you know. It takes a lot.
Very hard to. You almost somebody else has to die or something. It's like getting an apartment in Manhattan or something, right?
Somebody has to die, and you have to be standing in the corner with your rig in your hand.
Right, yeah, ready to go.